Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And we're I Beat It First. Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo! So there's one of us drinking again, right? What started out as an everybody drinking and then every once in a while everyone getting extremely shit-faced podcast has now turned into maybe one person drinks.
Well, I think we're just finding our limits, and you know what? That's what's great about
No, we're just getting old.
being a sensible adult. You understand that you need to set yourself some boundaries, because otherwise you start saying some real horrible things.
Jason refuses to admit that he is fastly approaching his 40th.
There ain't nothing to talk about with that. Ain't nothing.
Oh, I'm already past it, so you know.
Yeah, old man.
Yep, I'm super old. It's so funny that you're doing that, because as you're doing that, Jason, it looked like you were like going up on your tiptoes and then you were coming down off your tiptoes.
I was just because I felt my desk wobble a little bit, and it's never wobbled before. I was like, oh man, did I fuck it up with that giant fucking bear mask that I have? And I was just like wanting to test real fast if it was still moving. I was like, nah, it's just like all funky.
Okay, so just so you know, Jason, the title of this episode is Jason Has a Bear Head.
I do have a bear head. I officially do have a mountable bear head that is huge, and that is my secret.
The Go Live notification also said, "Come for the podcast, stay for the bear head." So now you have to show the bear head to everybody on stream. They need to.
All right.
They must see this.
We will show off the bear head. We will show it off. Maybe we'll save that for like the midway experience.
For the midway point.
Yeah, let the bear head entice you. Yes. Spoiler: it's literally this giant brown blob
weird mass
over my right shoulder. Yeah,
you have to stay for the bear head.
It is
you
huge.
kind of do.
You came for the podcast. You have to stay to see the bear head.
Yeah. The bear head. May the bear head entice you.
It's giant. Yes.
And for those of you that are only listening to our podcast, we'll use this as a nice little segue to say, hey, watch us live at twitch.tv/IBIF. We do this all the time for no reason.
A vast departure from last week's podcast of, hey, Twitch streaming kind of sucks because Cox is horrible. Make sure you're listening to the podcast.
You got to cover all bases, Eric. You got to cover all bases. That's just marketing. Yeah. That's marketing 101. Vertical integration. You cause one problem somewhere else so that you have the solution elsewhere. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, we are streaming this live on Twitch. Cox hopefully has solved the internet problems that have been plaguing my area of like Phoenix for the last few weeks. So I don't know, fingers crossed. However, now the fun thing of my allergies have really kicked in so far. So I've been my nose has been running like a faucet all day. I've had to blow my nose.
You sound a little extra nasally right now.
Oh, I've had to blow my nose so much, but it's not like it's like blocked up. Like it's literally just like flowing out of me.
Wow, you can see this live.
Yeah, it's it is. There's just a waterfall coming out of my nose right now. Like it's just the weirdest thing. But yeah, wow. I've been pretty bad the last few days, and then yesterday I had to do like a little bit of yard work outside, and it just
that dust will fuck you up here.
My eyes have been super fucking itchy. My body, my hands were itchy yesterday. I was like sitting in my office playing a game, and I'm like, why are the palms of my hands itchy? This doesn't make any sense. I'm having like a major bad allergy season. It's amazing. I love it.
Palms are itchy. Mom spaghetti. It's all kinds of crazy.
No, the allergies did not make me mom spaghetti, and I'm very mad.
You didn't have good allergies then.
It's not. It's not good allergies at all.
That's why you get Claritin S, the spaghetti allergy medicine.
Yeah.
It's sketty.
Noodles just come out of your face.
Sketty proof.
It's Claritin
Mom's
sketty
spaghetti
edition.
Sketty edition.
Sketty edition. Oh, it's not me this time. It's Chris.
It's a me. Sneeze. Oh, Chris is messing up.
Yeah,
now.
it's not me this time. It's Chris that's fucked up.
Cox just. I think there's like conspiracy against us. Like we've talked so poorly about Cox over the past years that they're just like, oh yeah, guys, let's see how you feel.
Well,
fuck you up more.
So like, I was like Friday or Saturday or something like that. There was a Cox truck like parked literally right next to my house in the little like driving area for my neighborhood, and I saw them like. I got booted from like a couple of meetings like multiple times this morning, and I looked out and I saw them sitting there again. And then when I went outside to check on something earlier, I then saw the Cox guy, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, are we going to continue to have problems all day like we did the other day? And he just like looked at me and he's like, no. Are you having issues too? Because I saw him talking to the neighbor, and I'm like, yep. He's like, oh, okay.
No. Are you armed?
Are you having problems as well? Yeah. The fact that you said as well leads me to believe that I'm not the only one having these issues in the neighborhood.
Amazing. Hey,
it really, really is. Oh, look, Chris is back now. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Hi, Chris.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's now you that's having Cox issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a great year for us.
It really is. It's like just trying to run the podcast is just a pain in the ass. Sick, tons of problems, technical issues, business travel, like anything and everything is trying to prevent us from doing this podcast.
Yes.
We will prevail.
We'll never stop. Won't stop, ever stop. We will bring you shitty video game news.
I will survive.
In my Mach 5.
I will survive.
As long as I know how to love Vimeo games, I know I'll be alive.
That's right. There you go. I like that. Now who's really old, fucking quoting disco. We are bleeding edge, guys.
Yes.
We are.
Hey.
We are bleeding edge.
How do you do,
Ross,
fellow
man.
kids?
It's Diana Ross. She's timeless.
Hey, at least when I said in my Mach 5, that's at least quoting President of the United States of America, which is still dating us like crazy.
Oh yeah.
But at least it's not. At least it's not disco. Anyway.
Yes, this is true. Instead we're talking about peaches. Millions of peaches.
We're talking about 90s 90s alt.
Peaches. Peaches, peaches, peaches. Peaches, peaches, peaches. I love you.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh God. Oh man.
I've seen the movie, but I've heard that song.
Oh, you should see the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see the movie. It's not bad. It's adequate. I will say that. It might still be one of the better like video game adaptation movies that are out there. What they really did a good job for, and I know, like, there's so many people giving so much shit to this movie about like this one replacement of putting on Take on Me in part of the movie instead of something having to do with Donkey Kong, but it's really like pulling away from the fact that they did an amazing job symphonically, like with the music score for that movie, because they did a really amazing job of adapting so much of the old school Nintendo music into like really large scale symphonies, even bigger than what they did for like Super Mario Odyssey and whatnot, that I was impressed by what they did musically with it. So I think that is like kind of doing a disservice by only focusing on the fact that they put Take on Me into the fucking movie. Okay. Just
it should have been President of the United States of America Peaches. That's what it should have been.
It could have been
that song.
At some point, yeah. Like actually Jack Black should have done 2 songs. Should have done his Peaches song, which is Oscar nomination worthy at this point. It is eligible. And 2, they should have done They should have done the Presidents of the United States song "Peaches."
They could have been the credits song or something like that. That'd have been great.
Mhm.
No, instead they did a slightly different rendition of his song in the credits. But yes,
Fun.
it should have been in there. I hands down agree. It should have been Presidents of the United States of America. All right, Chris, did I see a Tower Station?
You did.
Ooh, yummy. That's a delicious beer.
It is.
Voted one of the best IPAs in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like some Tower.
Mother Road, man. Mother Road. They're
So good.
They're really good.
Yeah, that's Mother Road Brewery in Flagstaff, Arizona. If you pretty much just drive through Arizona, you can find it in most places now. They do a good job of distributing throughout the Arizona area. So make sure that if you come to Arizona, you try a Tower Station because it is a damn good beer. All right. Should we get on to news?
Well, what are you drinking, Eric?
I'm just drinking a sparkling water, same as you.
Yeah, but my sparkling water, I wanted to talk about mine.
Oh, you want to
I've
talk?
never seen this flavor before.
All right.
I've never seen this flavor before.
Yeah, mine is just grapefruit.
Mine is
cooking signature.
Ginger lime mule.
It's
not going to show up on the.
Oh, but it's non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic. Sparkling water.
Does it actually taste like a ginger lime mule?
No.
No.
But,
no, not at all.
But it's an interesting flavor. I was just like, wow, okay.
Does it have hints of ginger?
Yeah.
Does it have hints of lime?
Yeah.
Does it kind of taste like cream soda?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, at least there's that.
You know how they always make those jokes about like LaCroix being like, hey, yeah, it tastes like the truck parked next to like the lime factory at some point in time, right? Like this one literally tastes like if you took one of those fake lime like that you find in the grocery store, it like looks like a plastic lime and it's filled with like lime juice that's like neon colored, and then you take like a discarded jar of ginger and then you just kind of like mix those together. That's with water. That's
Wait, the lime juice things are real lime juice though.
They're like nuclear color, though. I don't understand.
No, they're not. It's only the case. Unless we're thinking of two different things. I don't know which one you're talking about. Where it's like whenever I squeeze those things out, it's like neon green, like glowing. And I'm just like, oh man. No, the ones that I get they're just cloudy because that's how lime juice really is. Same thing with lemon juice. Yeah. It's just cloudy.
I don't know. I don't use lime juice that much.
Jason's actually buying. He's actually buying like lime Kool-Aid crushers and using those.
It's like Otter Pops. It's like Otter Pops. And he's like, yeah. Oh man! Wait, Jason, you mean squeeze it? Amazing,
dude! I haven't heard Squeeze-Its in forever. Holy shit! Are those still around?
Yeah, I think they're still around. Why wouldn't they be?
I don't know. Dude, we were at Costco and I was looking at like all the juice boxes and whatnot that they have. And they actually have like Kool-Aid ones in there. And I'm like, man, Ronan's like, what's that? And I'm like, well, you've had these before, but usually they've got like a lot more sugar. And then I looked at them compared to a Capri Sun. I'm like, or not. They have less sugar in them than a Capri Sun does.
Amazing. Amazing.
I was like, you want to get these instead? Like, he's like, sure. I'm like, all right, here you go. Like, I drank Kool-Aid as a kid. I turned out fine.
Yeah.
It all went to your hair.
No, that's where all the Gatorade went. Because I do blue Gatorade. So you say what flavor of Kool-Aid. Because they don't do like the ostentatious crazy flavors. It's like, it's cherry. It's grape. But you say the
no, I never. I always said red Kool-Aid. What kind of Kool-Aid you got? Red? All right, cool. It's like
no.
Like said,
no.
It was cherry.
Because like you can get cherry or fruit punch, and they look the same. And you better not tell me it's red. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like fruit punch, cool. And then it's cherry. And I'm like, it doesn't taste like it.
You didn't taste any difference. It was sugar water, and you're like, this is great. I could have told you it's grape. I could have told you it's grape, and it comes out red as fuck. And you're just like, yeah, it sure is. Like you've been like,
it's red grapes.
It's red grapes. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like why don't we have white grape soda. Where the fuck is that? It's called wine, Jason. Who cares? I want white grape soda. That's what Starry should have been.
Canned
what
wine?
the fuck is like this Starry bullshit that it's like, hey, we're not gonna make Sierra Mist anymore. We're gonna make this stupid version of, again, already trying to take on Sprite. Because who the fuck, like, all right, Sprite. And then your like mascots are gonna be lemon and lime. She's like, shut the fuck up. This is like, what are you just doing? Like Sprite's ad campaign? Like now? You're dumb. You're dumb. You could have been like, hey, you know what? We made white grape soda. Like, and everyone would have been like, what the fuck is that shit? That sounds dumb and horrible. And you'd be like, well, at least we're original. And you could make that your whole ad campaign. People would be like, you know what? Fuck. You are original. I've never heard of white grape soda ever before. I'm going to go buy and try it. Look at that $1 million idea right there.
Well,
white
you know
grape
who
soda.
could make that, right?
What are people?
Story Man video game tie-in.
No, Pepsi could make it. They've already done a good job of converting like regular like looking sodas into
Starry
like, clear.
is Pepsi. Sierra Mist was
Pepsi?
Sierra Mist
that's
was
right.
Pepsi.
Sierra Mist is Pepsi.
Yeah, it is Pepsi.
Dude, okay, so I read this article earlier because I was bored, and it was talking about the marketing behind Sierra Mist and Starry, and then like the weirdness of the history of Sierra Mist and of how often they changed the recipe on it. It was high fructose corn syrup, then it went to pure cane sugar. Then they added in stevia into it. Then they went back to high fructose corn syrup, went back to cane sugar. Then they got rid of Sierra Mist altogether, which at one point they even changed the name of it when they went back to high fructose corn syrup to something else. And then once they got rid of it, they have Starry, which now the only difference between Starry and Sierra Mist is that it's back to high fructose corn syrup again, and it has more citric acid.
The only thing that's acid. Oh, God.
The person
Whatever.
did a taste test between the two, like a blind taste test. It's like, I can't taste the difference.
I mean, okay, all right, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, but everyone's always like, hey, Coke, Pepsi's better and all stuff like that. You can definitely taste there's a difference in that.
Oh yeah.
I like, but
Yeah.
with any of these lemon lime sodas, like you give me like Mr. Lemon Lime and a Sprite, and I'll probably be like, yeah, okay, that's close to the same that I'm not.
So yes,
Yeah.
I can taste the difference though between Sprite and 7-Up. And Sprite is definitely better.
All right,
but
here's
the
what I'll say,
Mr.
though.
Lemon Lime, like the generic ones that are all trying to be Sprite, they do it. Yeah.
Those are hard.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, like, I agree with you, Eric. Like, I haven't had a pop in years, but 7-Up, I wouldn't call a Sprite contender. Is that
Yeah.
weird? I think Sprite's in its
Yeah.
own, or 7-Up's in its own, like, hey,
Yeah.
we're weird. Like, I don't even know if you can get 7-Up anymore. Is that even,
Can
like, I haven't
you?
seen a 7-Up in forever. Yeah. Did they
I mean, they
lose
had a
altogether?
video game at one point, so I mean, they should have staying
And
power. Yeah.
it
Oh
was
no,
a
7-Up, you still
fantastic
can.
video game. Like, the Spot video game was amazing. Like, if you emulate anything, go play that game. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, you can, and they have
7-Up yours.
They have a new. Oh yeah, the make 7-Up yours.
That was a good one.
They
It was a good one.
they have a new logo too. It's
Good
like
for
more
them.
simplified and whatnot. Interesting. Interesting. And then they've got one that's
Simplifying all.
and they've
Mhm.
got one that's called Simple 7-Up. Real ingredients: lemon lime soda, naturally flavored. So I don't know. Yeah, 7-Up though is in a whole thing on its own. But see, like cherry 7-Up is way better than cherry Sprite.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
Hands
remember
down.
that one.
Cherry 7-Up.
And that was hard to
way better.
find. I remember when you could find a cherry 7-Up, you're just like, oh, you got
Hell
cherry 7-Up?
yeah. You can
Mhm.
get cranberry 7-Up every now and then though during the holidays. They'll do that, and
I
that's
haven't
actually
seen-
pretty good.
I've seen that like cranberry ginger ale.
Oh,
no,
cranberry
it's these,
ginger ales are
uh,
good.
yeah, those are awesome.
7-Up boxer briefs.
Well, yeah, I mean, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Hey, why don't you hit that little red circle there, sweetheart? Boop.
More like up yours indeed. Here's my
Yeah.
7-Up yours.
Mhm.
Good job, Jason. Good callback.
I did it.
Yep.
I did
Okay.
it.
All right.
I'm making 7-Up yours.
Let's get on to news.
All 7
everybody.
centimeters.
Yeah, let's do video game podcast.
Let's do video game
podcast.
news. I mean, well, that went back to video games. They had a
they-
video game. We
yeah.
talked about it.
Spot's video game was amazing.
All right. News dropped today that Sega is buying Rovio for $775 million, which part of me wants to say that number is way too high, but then part of me goes, oh wait, but the movies, because Rovio, if you don't remember, is the company that made the Angry Birds games, which means that they also own the Angry Birds movies and the Angry Birds TV show and all that. So Sega is buying Rovio for $750,000 or $1 billion.
I only had one question when I saw this news. It was just like, with what money? Like, it's just like, what you been doing there, Sega?
Wait, actually, with
the
Yakuza
Sonic
money
movie money.
and Yakuza money,
Yakuza.
both literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Like a dragon buying Angry Birds.
It really is. Like, you got to think about, they actually do make a good chunk of money just doing software, because now it's software only. They're not doing any R&D for hardware or anything like that. They're not putting out a loss leader for it. They're just publishing video games. And they still own Atlas, right?
I believe so.
They own or partnered with.
Yeah, so like you get that Persona money and all that stuff. You know, it makes sense. But yeah, that's...
The Catherine money.
The Catherine money especially, yeah. For all them lonely people. It makes you wonder, though, why? Unless they're just looking to buy the Angry Birds IP.
Yeah, it's to buy the passive income. It's 1000%. Like, they're just gonna probably release a Sonic game that's like, hey, buy 50 jumps for $1 and get through your levels.
It'll be Angry Sonics.
Angry Sonics. You can launch a Sonic at Dr. Robotnik's all over the place.
Yeah.
If they came up with a Sonic spinball on your phone, I'd probably be all over that, to be honest.
You actually would. And Jason would drop money on it. Hardcore. He'd just be sitting in there pooping for 45 minutes straight.
And then I'd start playing the game.
Speaking of things to do while you're pooping, a new portable PlayStation console has been confirmed to be in the works at Sony. And they are basically making it to do cloud gaming, which is perfectly fine as far as that goes. The only drawback for that is that it wouldn't be able to play like really great games on the major go, like if you're not connected to the internet. But if you're at home or pooping, you'll be able to do that. And
Pooping
also
on the company dime.
And they're also looking to have it connect up and do virtual remote play with the PlayStation 5. So
it'll all come down to how the software and what they do to make it supportable. If they're just like, hey, here's this thing. Yeah, if here's this thing and it has remote play and all that good stuff like that. But in order to use like any of it, it's an extra fee on top of your PlayStation.
Oh, that would be ridiculously stupid.
I would be absolutely pissed, and I'd be like, "Enjoy your never bought thing."
Yeah.
So they got to be real careful about that. And the reason why I'm saying that, even though you're like, that'd be ridiculous, this is Sony. Like, they've definitely been like, what could make us some more money? And then be like, oh shit, we probably shouldn't have done that before.
Yeah, but not so much with subscription models. I mean, there is the question of like, does anybody actually pay for the highest tier of PlayStation Plus? Because it's pretty much fucking worthless.
Because that's what it's going to be used for.
Oh, like, shit, because of the cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep, bro.
Oh. Well, see, at that point, though, they're not going to be instituting anything. Like, that's a tier that's already there. And they'll be like, yeah, it works great with this. Fuck. I didn't even think about that, though. Damn it.
Yep.
Okay, so people will actually start having the higher end tier of PlayStation Plus. Oh, man. In really no shock news, the Suicide Squad game has been delayed to 2024, and I just loved Jason's reaction when I shared like a a promo image that said it, and he's like, "Was that like captured on a PS3?" Because it
Mhm.
was
So bad.
not. It was not good
Yeah.
character modeling of Harley Quinn at all.
It looked like
it was pretty
garbage.
bad.
And then it made me think a little bit. I was just like, all right, if I sit down for like really half a second, I believe, don't hold me to this, but there's been like 3 DC titles released in like the last 2 years. And I was like, have anybody played them?
But there was the Batman game, the Arkham Knights or whatever it was.
Right.
A lot of people played
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, it got really good reviews. It did.
I don't think so, Tim. I don't think so, Tim. I think it's
But what's the other one? I'm trying to think what another Warner Brothers like DC game was.
didn't they now I'm thinking about it again. I can't even think about
There
it.
was a Marvel game, Midnight Suns.
Which
Oh,
Midnight
you know what? That's
Suns
definitely
got
what I was
great
thinking about.
reviews too.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
And I have that. I'm going to be playing it on stream when I'm done with Horizon Zero Dawn. I just have to beat Horizon Zero, or not Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. I just have to beat Forbidden West, and not do all the side quests that I come across.
Enjoy your 100+ hours.
Oh God, I
Mhm.
don't even know how many hours I've racked into it so far. It's a lot though. I've put a lot into this game, and yeah, we'll talk about that later. All right, let's see here. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is not going to make you start out at level 1 as a Jedi, which thank fucking God.
Yeah.
However,
That happens in so many sequels.
they did that with the Apprentice one.
Was it Force Unleashed?
Yeah, Force Unleashed. When they did that one, you didn't lose your powers, which was cool. Like you just started getting stronger and stronger powers. They expounded upon that, and then they did that in God of War Ragnarok, didn't they, Jason?
Right.
Yeah.
God of War did not lose anything. It was just like the way that you lost stuff was like nothing that was to your arsenal, and then you continue to get more. Like you get better weapons and all that stuff like that. You continue to upgrade it, and yeah, I mean,
but they never
didn't
took,
make you start over.
They never took like your power set, and they never took your blades away again or anything like that for it.
Mhm.
Which I like that trend. I like
Yeah.
like game companies making sequels and continuing on that trend of like no. They were badass and powerful. Keep making them badass and powerful.
Yeah. Not some weird kind of story stopgap of why they lost their powers again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
well, especially when 80% of the game then is just you earning that shit back. Like it's just like, ugh.
Or earning back new ones because your other ones are irreplaceable, like they did with God of War. In the original God of War games, like that's where it was like super rampant. Kratos is a fucking god. Nope, you're immortal again. Now you have to get back up to godhood. Then you get back up. No, you're immortal again. You gotta get back to godhood. Like fuck you.
That's why I got the fuck out of there. That's why I got the fuck out of there. It's like nuts.
Yeah, they kept taking his powers and he hated it. He's like, fuck you guys.
Mhm.
I'm gonna strip myself of my powers. And then we'll see how you like that. All right, let's see here. Going real back to the Mario movie, it is on track to make $1 billion worldwide.
Cool. I'm glad. You know, I mean, I read a very interesting article about this. It was just like, you know what, that's great. I think we all read it because Google's following all of our phones the exact same way. But that's like cool, glad for them. I mean, it's a quality film. They definitely deserve it. Nothing wrong with that. But the problem is though, is that it's going to usher in the newfound like video game surge of, hey, wait, we can make money from video game movies. We should make them again. And now people are like, hey, you know what? Video game movies are fun. I'm going to start going to see them again. And how quickly will we get just absolute dog shit video game movies again?
Well,
Uwe Boll coming back.
Yeah, so I guess the big thing is that realistically, they were never good to begin with.
Yeah,
they were all pretty much shit. Like
except for the original Mario movie, classic.
No, that movie's
classic.
so bad.
It's
so good.
It is
so good.
So bad.
John Leguizamo was
as a movie, it's not that bad. As a Mario movie, it's horrible.
No, the best. The best.
Absolute best.
Because there's two, and I know one that I like right now, a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, movie
Is that 93?
It was 92 or 93, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
long ass time ago, and it was God. It's John Leguizamo, and who was it that played Mario?
Super famous guy. Like,
Yeah, it was the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
right, the detective from Roger Rabbit. He's been in Star Wars. He's been in like everything. He's a super great actor. Can't remember his name though. Can
Oh
never
my
remember his name.
God.
British as hell, and they had him play
Is he
an Italian
British?
plumber. Yeah, I think he's British.
No, Bob Hoskins isn't British.
Hoskins.
Canadian? What is he? He's something.
So oh no, he is born in Suffolk. Wow.
I was like, he's got like a thick accent, man. He's definitely 1000%.
Yeah, it was born. Oh well. He was born in Suffolk, but I think he lived here. It says was born.
He still has the accent. He still has the accent.
It says was born October 26, 1942 in Bury St. Edmunds, Suffolk, where his mother was living after being evacuated as a result of the heavy bombings. So they may have gotten out of there. I don't know. It doesn't say anything else within there about his childhood, but if he was born in World War II, he may have gotten out of Britain. Oh man. But yeah, Bob Hoskins, that movie's just shit.
Amazing.
You know
So
what?
good.
Actually, there is one good video game movie, but it's not based on a video game. It's based around a video game, and that's The Wizard.
Mhm.
I love the Power Glove.
It's
It's
so
so bad.
Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, $1 billion. Hopefully it like I guess one of the things that I read, like one of the articles that I read about that was like it's gonna make good ones because they're gonna finally see like, okay, it's worthwhile to actually like stay true to the fans, but it's also going to just continue to usher in just Easter egg laden movies all over the place. I was like, yes and no. I mean, at that point when you're making it in like the Mario universe, everything's a fucking Easter egg. The movie is an Easter egg at that point. Because if you're just
Right.
talking about how like something going on in the background is an Easter egg, like no. That's the video game equivalent of a guy stopping at Starbucks. Like you can't just sit there and continue to like say those are Easter eggs. Now, if they put in like in the background, you could see Link jumping up and like hitting something, then that's an Easter egg. Speaking of which,
What I would like,
I want to see a
go
Zelda.
ahead, sorry.
I want to see a Zelda movie.
yeah, put the guy that doesn't say a goddamn word in a 2-hour film. Sounds great.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
and at the very like make it dark at the beginning. They cut his fucking tongue out.
Ooh, rated R Zelda could
Ooh.
be pretty awesome.
Right?
I really want what I think. Like, all right, especially as I get older, what I think would be really awesome, and I hope that they like kind of take it this way, especially with the resurgence of this, and maybe seeing that there's a lot more gamers out there now than ever before, is taking some of these classic games that kids will never really play, and like really just being like, we're gonna make that a movie and give it like the full-on Peter Jackson experience. Like, hey, here's Final Fantasy VII cinematic experience over 4 movies. Let's fucking go.
Oh, hell
like, it's
yeah.
just like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like piece by piece, right down to bitches slapping each other on a big giant cannon. We're fucking doing it. You know, I'd be there. I'd be there for it 100%. I'd get my 80-year-old ass out of bed and go.
I
wait in
need
line.
that like stereotypical action movie shot where the camera is like going all around him. And
John
you see,
Woo
like,
style.
Slash.
Yeah.
Slap.
Doves flying up in the background and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Like, if they're going to include the slapping on the cannon, it has to have that shot. Like, hands down. I don't even care how stereotypical it is. I don't care how many people fucking hate it. It needs to have that fucking shot, and it would be perfect. And I just sit there and be
there
like,
for it.
I'd be like sitting there in the audience, and I would audibly just be like clapping. I'd be like, yes, yes,
Academy Award for best slap. The Academy Award recognizes.
No,
but
that
I'm
makes
serious.
me want like the MTV Movie Awards again now. just specifically
Yeah,
for
right.
that, like
'Cause
best
just
slap
for
in
the
a
stupid
movie.
things,
Yeah.
stupid things that they did. Yeah.
hmm
I'd be so down for that. Like, I mean, there's so many games and so many things that they could do, and it doesn't have to all be like Final Fantasy or Jazz or these giant cinematic RPGs. They could easily do like cinematic versions of a lot of our games that we like
Yeah.
without just relying on them being kiddie. Like, I really don't want to see like a bunch of our kiddie games remade and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Like, I mean,
I
they
don't
could
know.
do the Metro series as well,
Yeah,
Boom,
which
great
are
call out.
originally based off a
Metroid would
book,
be
so
dope.
it's got a story for it.
and I'd much rather see that than them try and adapt a fucking fighting game into a movie again.
Yeah.
I mean, Soul Calibur's got plenty of lore to it. Let's really
Yeah,
call it
but
out there.
that's not gonna be like real great movie like caliber at all, man.
No,
Not at all.
They'll make
That's-
Final, or they'll make a Street Fighter at least 2 more times, then make a
Ugh.
Tekken before they'll make a
They've
Soul
made
Calibur.
Tekken, although the Tekken movie was all animated. Same thing with the latest Street Fighter; it was all animated. Thank God. But fuck. But what else did they make? They've done Mortal Kombat, they've done Street Fighter, and it's like for
Couple
some
times.
reason
First one was dope.
the
one
first
was
Mortal
dope.
Kombat was dope. The newer one was eh. I fell asleep at part of it. Not gonna lie, I fell asleep during that movie.
That was fairly decent
It was
for
just
a
like
fighting game movie.
well, yes, okay, but see, that's the problem. Is you're like for a
Yeah.
fighting game movie, it was fairly decent, but it was also pretty boring. So, it is what it is. All right,
Maybe we could bring back a Doom movie. Like if
Oh,
you watch Hardcore
yes.
Henry, if you watch Hardcore Henry, they did a really good job of making a first person movie.
well, so
and you do that in Doom,
they did that in the Doom movie, and
They
it was
did that
the
for
it was
5
the
minutes
it
at
was
the
the
end,
best
and it was the
5
best
minutes
5
of that
minutes.
movie.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're just like, now we have a little bit more lore. We have a little bit more of a better understanding what we're doing to keep Rock fucking away from it. And we go, let's make a fucking movie. The guy says like 5 words, just metal.
Just
make like a heavy
fucking
metal movie.
murdering
heavy
the
metal,
shit out of
Heavy
stuff.
metal 2024 is just Doom. And it's just like, sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds
Mhm.
great.
Down with it.
Just straight up murdering.
I'm here for it.
Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
Rip and tear.
Speaking of video games and movies, but this is the other way. Warner Brothers is finally making a Quidditch game. It's going to have online multiplayer, so you're going to be able to play against each other and play Quidditch. Which, I swear to God, I don't know why they've waited so fucking long to do this.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm still confused. Like, why wasn't Quidditch in the game, the Hogwarts game?
Probably because of this. I mean, if I remember
Why isn't
right,
this
like,
an expansion?
I don't know. But
I mean, like, okay,
I don't
go
even
ahead,
know
sorry.
if Quidditch was
FIFA
around
Quidditch?
in the 1800s in the Harry Potter universe, which
The
is
lore.
where Hogwarts takes place. Hogwarts Legacy takes place like in the mid to late 1800s. So that could be part of it. Like, I don't know. I haven't played it yet. So
I mean, okay, all right. Look, here's my thing. Like, all right, I'm again old man. I'm dying. It's all right. I missed the Harry Potter like love.
Oh yeah,
Like
I was too
I-
old.
that
I
was
was
not-
way too old.
yeah, I
at
was
that
too
point.
old by the time the books were coming out, and I was just like, I don't want to read that kiddie shit. I'm gonna read my Michael Crichton, and I was all uppity about it. Anyway,
Like I was like
when it,
right there for the beginning where just I read the first book and then the second book came. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
yeah, like I had like I read the books in my 30s, like, so I mean it's just
Yeah.
like and to me it was just like, yeah, now you're reading a very much young adult book as a
Yeah.
very much not young adult.
Oh no, Quidditch
And,
very much started in like the year 1000 in
Okay.
Harry Potter lore.
So I mean, like, so what I'm trying to get to is just like Quidditch to me, even like as a non-huge Harry Potter fan, is just like a quintessential part of the Hogwarts experience. If I was like gonna go to like if I quit, like the way I was sold on this Hogwarts game was just like, it's like going to Hogwarts yourself, and stuff like that. And it's just like that'd be like
Mhm.
saying like, hey, you're gonna go to college, Jason. It's like, sweet, what's my football team? They're like, well, your college doesn't have a football team. It's just like, oh, cool. Are the
Even
dorms
Harvard
at
has a
least
football
accessible?
team, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, the dorm school? No. It's just like, well, is this a community college? What am I doing? And it's just like,
No, actually,
Even MCC has a football team.
you're literally
Holy
in the
shit.
show community.
Yeah, exactly.
Although they had a
They have
football
no
team.
idea. They had a football team too. That's right. That's football.
But yeah,
Um,
I was wondering that same thing as to why the Quidditch game isn't in there, and I think that they just couldn't fill it, or the devs that were making the game were like, no, we're really good at making RPGs. We're not good at making sports games. And they were just like, all right, that's fine.
how hard is that golden ball go brrr? What else do you need to do?
Well, even if you just like in the game, you got to go and bet on Quidditch games. Like, like that's what I would have expected.
You could have taken the fucking underwater soccer from
I was about to say the Final
10
Fantasy water soccer.
Oh god.
and just been like, hey, here it is, guys. And people would have been like, all right. They wouldn't have known any different.
That game played so slow though.
So horrible.
So
horrible.
slow.
That'd make a good reason to find the fucking snitch, because it's just like, goddamn, end this game. Please, for the love of God, end it.
So good.
Oh man.
So good.
All right, let's go back to let's see here. Well, actually, not back to. Let's start off with some hardware news. More on sales though. Valve is supposedly supposed to surpass 3 million Steam Decks sold by the end of this year.
Good for them.
Which is good for them.
Yeah.
What's really impressive though, something that I didn't even realize, they sold 1.62 million units in 2022.
Okay.
That's very impressive. Like that's
Yeah.
I knew that they sold a
For
bunch.
Steam hardware.
Yeah, and I mean, especially for a company that was backlogged for that long in 2022, like they had a back order for these things for a long time. For them to sell 1.6 million, they're supposed to increase 25% this year. It's supposed to put them to like 1.8 million, which will put them well over 3 million, which is great. Like that's awesome. And it was also like hilariously, like, side note story that came up is that Microsoft's devs made a stripped down version of Windows for the Steam Deck, but you're probably not going to see it.
Was for the Steam Deck or for the Ally?
It's for the Steam Deck. So they did this whole, like, it was basically like a hackathon that they did for like 3 days, and they did a 3-day sprint, and they actually were able to strip it down to like bare essentials, but still run games. It had some issues with like within that 3 days creating like full driver support for the touchpads and stuff like that. But they primarily got it like working on the Steam Deck in full Windows and still able to like run games and stuff like that. But it would be great for them to do that. I don't know, like they would probably have to talk with Valve and get like something going on in order for that to happen. But it would be good, because one of the problems with the Steam Deck is that it only plays Linux. So it doesn't play every PC game, which is what you want it to do. But it doesn't do that. And that's what the Asus ROG Ally will do, though, is that it's going to have Windows on it. So you can run everything. You can play every game that you have in your Steam library on it. And
with the Ally, you can plug it into an external graphics card, so you can really play everything.
But this thing's gonna be powerful enough to run everything, anyways. Though that's the funny part. The external graphics card is just like, hey, you want to spend some extra money and just like not have a computer? Like, who the fuck doesn't have a computer? Like
a lot of people.
A lot of people. This is true.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like even like a Chromebook or something like that. It's like you have something to do more than just a phone, or even like tablets now. Like if you get an iPad, that's strong enough to do a lot, and that plays about as many games as SteamOS does.
No.
Yeah, actually, technically plays more, because it has a browser in it that allows you to get to GeForce Experience.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. GeForce Now. I was going to say, well, actually, no, yeah, you're right. GeForce Now.
You do GeForce Now. You can do Xbox as well. Like all those things. It'd be great. All right, let's see here. Reports are showing, and this is all factual. Xbox is on a bit of a sales skid in comparison to Sony and Nintendo over the last few months. Their year-over-year sales numbers are way under what they were at. So now they're sitting 13 million behind Sony worldwide, which is strange. I can't quite put my finger on like what would be the skid, because they were like them and Sony were following the same trends. Like when Sony would go up, Microsoft would go up, and they would go up roughly the same proportionate amount based off of what their regular sales are. Sony was always having like more sales, like that was a given. That's just how they've been doing it the entire time. But when Sony would go up, they would go up, and when Nintendo would go up, they would go up. But now it's like Sony's gone up and Microsoft actually dipped, and then dipped some more and stayed low while Sony and Nintendo were going up. And I can't really think of anything unless people are being weird about the Activision merger, but I can't place any one particular thing on why this would be happening.
I mean,
Especially
Game
since the
Pass is-
Activision merger seems like it might actually go through now.
Yeah. But even that, nobody's been bitching about it as much as like we are.
Yeah.
we're the only ones against this, apparently. Yes.
No, there are other people that are against it, but I'm just saying, like
I'm not
regular
fully against
gamers
it,
that play
because that means-
aren't really going against this. There's so many of them that are on Team Microsoft of saying like, no, this would be great for it, like, or those same people that give two fucks about playing an Activision game, even though they're a horrible company that ruins everything and ruins the people that work for them. That stuff too.
Yeah,
but. Yeah,
that's why that's like the best reason why I'm not against it is just not that Microsoft's any better, but they seem like they're a little better.
Yeah, the worst thing about that is the byproduct that those fucking asshats are going to make a crap ton of money. And I honestly would have rather just watched Activision burn to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. But that's, it is what it is. But I can't quite think of any one reason as to why Microsoft's sales would be going down.
No.
In proportionate. Like they should be, peaking up a little bit here and there. But yeah, they've been going down, and there's not any hardware slump anymore. There is like the dip in cost or the amount of money that GPU manufacturers are making because people aren't buying like GPUs anymore. But yeah, it's real strange. Okay, let's see here. E3 is dead, as we talked about previously, but the PC gaming show isn't. They will still be doing their shit on June 11th, everybody. So stay tuned around that, because we'll probably be co-streaming it on Twitch and making all of our witty commentary that you would normally get from us doing it. But yeah, that one's funny because they're the only ones so far that have been like, yeah, we're doing this at the same time. We're not changing our fucking schedule at all.
Yeah. I really hope they like lean into that and get rid of like the over stylized that it was the last few times that we were there. Granted, it's been a few years anyway. Where they have like, oh, back to you, Jim, and all that jazz and bullshit, and just like, hey, welcome to your only E3 experience you're gonna have outside of E3 that is now E3. It's ours now. We own it. And then just being like, here's some games, idiots. Like, this is what you want.
I was really hoping that they were gonna say that it was gonna be live, like in person, and they were gonna rent out an amphitheater like they did before, and I'd be like, we're fucking going to California for a day. Everybody.
Oh, I would do it. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
We're getting some curry. We're going to HMS Bounty. Mm-hmm. We're doing the thing.
Too long.
If we go to HMS Bounty, that is not a day.
No, it's not.
No. This would be. It'd have to.
This would be like a weekend trip.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like I really wish that they would still at least do their live in person one, because that would just be fucking great. But yeah. Uh oh well. That sucks. Let's
Mhm.
see here. Uh for some reason, over the last 2 weeks, there's actually been a rash of big people leaving some of the large companies out there in video gaming. So Joseph Staten, the Halo creative lead, is leaving 343. Jacob Freeman is leaving, and I think has left EVGA now. And Dryan Del Rizzo is leaving Nvidia, which Jacob Freeman did a lot of GPU stuff, and he's actually one of the guys that runs the EVGA Twitch channel. So he's leaving. His makes sense because EVGA doesn't make video cards anymore.
Yeah.
So he'd be going on to something else. Dryan Del Rizzo is leaving Nvidia, and he was a PR guy. As Gamers Nexus put it, he was the guy that would go to bat when people at Nvidia would be like, "Why the fuck are we sending cards to these people that are just shitting on us all the time?" Like, well,
Mhm.
and then Joseph Staten, nobody knows why he left or where he's going or anything like that, but he's been at 343 for a while. However, Halo sucked for a while, so
Yeah.
hopefully that helps Halo. I doubt that it will, but it could hopefully help it. Let's see here. Next,
Well, maybe that's also why he's leaving. Is because he was too handicapped.
maybe, but he was the creative lead.
Yeah. Maybe too much oversight.
Maybe. Could be.
I don't know.
I was gonna jump to this earlier and I forgot
TBD.
to. Nintendo is doing their own E3 in Seattle in September, in which case they're gonna have gaming tournaments and all sorts of stuff. Also, QuakeCon is back in August, I think it is, and they're actually doing a giant fucking LAN party, a bring your own computer LAN party as well. So they're gonna have that going along with all of the normal QuakeCon stuff. So other things are happening, and everybody's putting on like their own things still, which is, it is what it is. Um, let's see here. Uh, Chris showed this one, and I found it fucking hilarious. The Activision is
Oh,
tormenting COD cheaters to see what will break them.
yeah. It's so good. Rather than just straight up banning them, it's like, no, we're gonna do like little things where, oh, you can't actually damage anybody, and so or we're gonna take your weapons away, or weird kind of stuff like that. Just kind of fuck with you.
But they turned some of their opponents invisible so that they couldn't see
Mhm.
them. Which I think honestly is the best way to combat cheating. Like,
Yeah.
instead of outright banning them, if you have the ability to tweak your code and just fuck with them so that maybe they'll just stop doing it altogether instead of just creating another account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's great. All right. Let's see here. Google is rolling out web GPU tech to make web gaming better, which is going to work with adding in DirectX 12 support into browser capabilities, which will help both with gaming, but also with any cloud-based systems for doing like 3D rendering or anything like that as well. So that's going to help out quite a bit with a lot of other pieces too, which I
My
thought
favorite
that
part about
was
that, yeah, my favorite part about that is coming right off the heels of them getting out of Stadia.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Wait, and you know that they're
Mhm.
like trying to grab whatever it is that they can and rolling it into it. That's totally Stadia tech that they're rolling into the
Yeah.
the whole Chrome thing. But if it's gonna make the entire experience better, they might as well, like, instead of just completely scrapping Stadia, like figure out what they can take out of it. Which is, that's how
Yeah.
Discord and Slack came about.
Yep.
So, good on them for doing that. Rode is making a dual audio and video interface for streamers, so you can have an XLR camera or XLR mic, and then you can hook up DSLRs, or even if you just wanted to use it as like a capture device for your games, you
Yeah,
can
because
do
you have
that
the
as
full-on
well.
capture card with, I think, and you can also like hook up 2 computers to it.
It can, yeah, it
As a
can hook
capture
up to
device?
2 computers. It has 2 USB outputs so that you can hook it up to 2 different computers at the same time, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't given a price on that, but they should have a price out for it sometime in May, which would be pretty cool. All right, we got 3 more things. We'll go with this one first. InWin is selling a PC case that you have to build yourself. It comes in a flat pack, so it's all like in this like thin cardboard packaging that you get, and then you build it yourself. You have to like screw it all together and everything like that. And I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Are you kidding me? It was like, I was like, oh man, that would have been just like so nice to be able to be like, oh, I'm just gonna bring home my PC case and then put it all together.
Mhm.
That'd have been fun.
Yeah, and it's Hot on the Heels, Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents are using these newer test bench kits that you can get, that they literally come to you in one piece of aluminum, and it's all like machined out in all the different parts, including like all the thumb screws to put it all together and everything like that. So you get it, and it's just this like motherboard shaped piece of aluminum that has the legs that pop out and everything like that. It's like, huh, that's pretty cool. And then that popped up, and I'm like, damn, that's smart.
Mhm.
All
Easy
right.
shipping.
Yep. Okay. We got 2 things that kind of go back to Nintendo. Do we want to talk about someone trying to fuck Nintendo, or someone trying to fuck Nintendo and then Nintendo fucking them?
I mean, they both kind of are getting fucked.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with the first one. An idiot tried to sell too many Pokemon cards and got caught stealing from the Pokemon Company, which this one was fucking hilarious. So this guy goes into this video game trade, or not video game, like card trading place in Dallas, and he's got this like huge fucking lot. This is his first mistake. He tried selling it all together. And he's got like all of these like super rare cards and everything like that, all from like the same series. And they like sat there and they were
Mhm.
grilling the guy, trying to get more information out of him on like exactly how he got it, because they were like, it's either these are ill-gotten or they're fraudulent. One of
Right.
the two. They're like, this is the only way that you have this many of this series. And it turns out that the guy worked for a printing company that printed trading cards for the Pokemon group, and he just stole a bunch of them and then tried selling them. And it's like, dude, so they called the Pokemon Company. Pokemon Company got him arrested, and they got all their cards back. But that one started making the rounds, I guess, in like this like small Facebook group of people that play and collect cards, and then it made its way onto Reddit, and then that's when it like started really blowing up and everyone started finding out about it. But I just saw that and I
Yep.
was like, what a fucking idiot. It's like,
This is my
yes.
favorite. This is
Mhm.
this is money laundering for kids, is what this basically is.
Yep.
It's like, hey kids, if you wanted to sell something valuable like Pokemon cards, don't do it in one giant transaction.
Mhm.
Exactly. You got to
Gotta
take that
spread it
money.
around multiple different places over some time, and
You trade them in for car washes.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you do. You trade them in,
You
you
do.
use them to buy a car wash, and then the car wash makes money.
That's right.
See?
Mhm.
All right. This one I also laughed at. I'm sorry. It's like, what the fuck did this guy think was gonna happen? So Breath of the Wild streamer Point Crow helped make a multiplayer mod for Breath of the Wild, so Nintendo in turn started demonetizing his videos.
Yeah, 1000%. Hey, you mod our shit, and we don't want
Yeah.
that.
And now he's pleading with Nintendo to make the pain stop. But it's like, dude, you went in, like, Nintendo is very against modding, emulating, like doing any of these things. Like they're super
Touching
against
any
it.
of their stuff.
Yeah, and
Touching any of their
especially
stuff.
especially like their big things like Zelda or Pokemon or anything like that. Like what the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
There's all these people that have been getting fucked for the Smash Brothers stuff for years because of Melee and the Dolphin stuff that they've been doing. It's like, come on, people, get it together. It's like, yes, modding shouldn't be illegal, but in a lot of cases, the things that you do for them is illegal. And just because you don't want it to be illegal doesn't mean that it's not illegal.
No matter
And at
how
the same
cool-
point, if you're going to make money off of fucking with Nintendo like this, they're going to ensure that you can't make money off of them, which is also the other problem with YouTube gaming. It's like if you stream on YouTube, unfortunately, like you have a whole other set of problems that you have to worry about when it comes to like how you make your money and everything like that on there. Because as soon as that content's on there, it's like, no, they can't make money off of that. They're like, cool, here you go. Thanks, Nintendo.
We're not gonna fight you. We're not gonna fight you for sure. Yep.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't give a shit. So
They're
that guy
getting
kind of
views,
like
that's
shot
all they care
himself
about.
in the foot. So, all right, that's it. We're done with news.
Not too bad. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I mean, we didn't start
liked
talking about news until like 30 minutes in. So
I know. I was like, I like the soda pop thing. We went. All right, I'll get the bear, I guess.
Yes, get the bear. We need to see the bear.
Yeah, bear time.
Live reveal. I'm gonna do a special effect to this. Let's see, what can I do?
You could just turn your camera off for a second.
I could just do that, I guess that's true. All right, bear.
Jason forgetting how cameras work in Zoom. We don't have to. So
It's so heavy.
every time that we've like had like someone come in because of the labels on our stream, if someone comes in out of order, we'd be like, oh, hang on, I'll hop out, and then that way it'll put the right person up in the right corner. No, we just have to turn our fucking cameras off.
That fixes it? That's amazing.
It fixed it because now Chris is in the top left corner and you're down below. All right.
We know.
All right. This is Jason's fucking bear mask, everybody.
It's not a mask. It's
not a
fucking
mask.
Statue.
This thing is
It's
heavy.
A bust. Good God. My God.
Wait, you gotta get it up so that we can see your eyes through the mouth.
Okay.
Because there we go.
Oh, it is so heavy, so big.
It's
so
all
pointless.
wood, right?
It's resin.
Oh, it's resin? Oh shit.
It's resin.
Painted resin?
That's a lot of resin.
Dude, so this thing is like stupid expensive. Like if you buy it on retail, I don't pay for anything on retail. So I got this in like ridiculous auction for like nothing.
You mean the same way that you basically got me a free hot pot?
Yes. Exact same way. Because I was like, I'm gonna buy a hot pot, and they're like, hey, there's an auction for a hot pot, but people are paying like $50 for it. And I was like, I don't know if I want a hot pot that bad. And they're like, well, we have another auction over here where there's 2 hot pots, but it's going for like $20. And I was just like, yeah, I'll do that one. So everyone's bidding on this one hot pot for $50, and I was like, I'll take my 2.
Nobody wants 2. Yeah,
Weird.
everyone's like, well, I don't want 2 hot pots.
Exactly. I'll pay more for less. Thank you. I'm a consumer whore too.
But and
you
got like double wall, like metal insulated champagne flutes.
Dude, okay, if you're not like sounds so stupid. It does, but like this bear thing can't lie. If you're not like looking online at your like state's like repo or overstock like state run funded auctions, you're messing up. Like it's fun bullshit. Like it is 1000%. Like it's more than just like you've all heard about like the police repossessed and stuff like that, where it's like cars and jewelry. And of course, there's that crap too that everyone bids on like crazy. But then there's just random ass bullshit like $500 bear statues. They're just like, no one in the right mind should own this, but I do now for extremely nothing. So
And we still don't know how they're getting these. Like, are these like store liquidations? Did these fall off a truck?
Like returns, like all kinds. Well, it's state run, so if it falls out of a truck, it's their own truck that it's falling off.
Well, no, but I mean, like if it fell out of a truck, but then they like confiscated it from the criminals, sent the criminals to court.
Oh, maybe.
Then, like we don't know where it came from. Just like the same thing of like with the drug dealer cars and stuff like that. They're like, we can't return it to anybody.
Well, that's how NUPD had a Escalade police car.
Yeah, I'm like, who is it that has a giant fucking bear like face or an animal face on their chest?
Sabretooth from X-Men?
No.
Trying to think.
But like that, like you did that, and I'm like, wait a second, that's something.
I feel more like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than anything else. This thing's super heavy. Like it is stupid. Anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I have no idea, but I have it. That's all that matters.
that's literally all that matters is that you have it.
There is our bear intermission. Barely an intermission.
Bear mission. Yay. All right. I think I'll go first. I've literally only been playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Nice.
It's been on stream. I've been playing it in my off stream. I'll have like an hour between when I clock out from my job and I have to start making dinner, and I'll be like, all right, well, I'll just do that. And it's smart though, because I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, I'll like clock in because I'm salary, but I still like clock in for it. It's like, I'll just clock in a half an hour early. Nobody even notices with my company because I'm already an hour behind them anyways, that they're just like, oh, he's actually working at our times right now. So it's fine. So I'll clock in like a half an hour earlier, so when I'm like, I got nothing to do and I can't start playing the game, but I can clock out a half an hour early because of it and get more playtime in. Which is the great thing about doing 100% work from home job again, which is awesome. But yeah, that's all that I've been playing. I really like. I have Midnight Suns, which I'm going to be playing that after. I also have a review copy of a game that I have to stream, not this week but next week. So we'll see what amount of Horizon and whatnot. I can't talk about the game that I have because we're not allowed to talk about it. It's under embargo, but we will have that streamed next week, and then I'll be able to review that on our next podcast. But that's pretty much it. Horizon is awesome. It's fucking beautiful. I like that I have my new monitors that do 1440p and HDR now, because I can see a vast difference between running it regularly on my monitor, running it on my television, and running it at 1440p with HDR on. It is,
yeah,
that game's pretty.
It's super pretty and it's super fun. And so where are you in the storyline?
I am on my way to get the third kernel for Gaia.
Okay.
I already got Poseidon. I already got Ether. I'm on my way to get the other one. I forget what it's called. The Poseidon one was cool.
Didn't they just come out with DLC for that too?
Not yet. It's coming out though. It's up for pre-order.
Yeah,
you can pre-order it now. The Poseidon one was cool.
Yeah, Vegas in itself was just a fun area in general.
You just go to Vegas and you have to like swim through what ends up being a giant aquarium, which is hilarious. But I was like wondering, like, I've been playing this game for fucking ever. I'm like, when do I get the breathing mask? so that I can dive deeper. Like, I know that it's a thing because they talked about it before the game came out, and I've already come across areas where I can only go so far into the water because I die if I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, when am I gonna get this mask? And then you finally get the mask in Vegas, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm enjoying like coming across all the different areas for it, like figuring out what part of the area it's in as well. They even make references to Phoenix, Arizona in like parts of it and stuff like that, which is really cool. It's a really, really good game. The twist that you get like not super early on, but fairly early on in the game, when you first get the kernel for Gaia, though, is I was like, oh no way. But yeah, it's interesting, and they do a lot of like, it's really good story, and tons of fucking dialogue. The thing
Tons.
that keeps blowing me away is the amount of dialogue that they had the voice actors for Aloy make, which I was like, I didn't realize that this is the same girl that's one of the testers in Mythic Quest, is the voice actress for Aloy.
Oh yeah.
It's not Dana. It's the
who's
other
also
one.
who's also from Arizona.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But like sitting there in like all these different parts, and it's like she says very specific things that pertain to what I've done in the story at specific times, but not even like oh well, I only have to get this one more piece, because you can do the 3 different pieces in any order and it's fine. But she even like talked about like other side missions that I already did, that a new one like had started up, or she should check in on them, like, and boom, it seamlessly all went together. Like it didn't feel like she finished a complete thought, then went on to another one, then went on to another one. Like it was all like mental conversation, like it just flowed really well. And that part I think has been probably like super astonishing.
It's really impressive what they do, especially like if you've already done something and then you get a mission for it, and it's just like, well, it's a good thing I already kind of took care of that stuff. And it's just like, oh Jesus, like that's awesome. That like they're not even like, yeah, let me go get those things for you. Oh, I have them right here.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, actually, I already did that. Here they are.
I've already
How
got a
about that?
couple of
And it's
those.
just like, yeah, exactly. I thought that was just so, oh, thank you. Like so great. Instead of like ending the dialogue tree, go find 3 things. Check mark. Oh, hey, I didn't go anywhere. Guess what I found? You know?
Yeah. They do an amazing job with that. Or even it just changes the dialogue in general, because it's like you go into an area and it's after you've already like destroyed the bulwark or something like that, and it's like the dialogue for how it is changes because those missions were already there, you just haven't gotten them yet. But once you get to it after a certain thing, like all the dialogue completely changes, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology in this one. It's a really good game. Really good game.
Yeah, it's a great game. Like hands down worthy of a game of the year for 2022. Like it is an amazing ass game.
I know.
But that's I'm letting you know, Jason, that I agree with you.
It's so rare. It's so rare. Very cool.
So
but you want to know?
I knew that it was
it's not
great though.
Yeah, it's hard not to. You know, it's not a great game.
What?
What I've been playing. Are you done?
Wait, what have you been playing? Yeah, I'm done.
I played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I fucking platinumed that bitch. Like I did everything you possibly could in it, and it is not good. I mean, you get about maybe halfway through the game until you like are suddenly like more leveled than you need to be, and there's not much complexity to the combat system of this game. So as long as you just stay on top of playing the game, you just literally come down to just entering the battle, doing the same 5 things: attack, Kamehameha, move on. And it's just like, all right, let's keep going. the enemies just eventually become Kamehameha sponges. I don't know if you want to call it that. But it just rides the line of nostalgia so well. Cinematics are there, they're fun. Some of the fight sequences that you go into, while the fight sequences are boring, the cinematics then that they build up to it to then have it be breaks within the exact same fight. So it doesn't even like skip a beat of you going between fighting cinematic and then fighting again. So you can have that feeling of like you really are having the conversation with them while you're beating the shit out of them. And then it does like a close up of Frieza's face while you just like deck him in the face. And it does like the look, and like Jasmine's like super fun. Like it's just like, anime. I remember being a child. And that's where this game exists, is just in that. It does just all of Dragon Ball Z right up to the Buu saga, ends right then and there. There's a little bit of stuff afterwards, typical RPG fetch quests and all that jazz that you can do while you level, power, grind up your bullshit, whatever you want to do. None of it's really worth it or paramount to anything. I really wish they would have like then like proceeded in some other way, being like, hey, here's some other stuff that we can do.
Well, there
They
is
do have some
DLC.
There's DLCs, but it's still following 1000% the lore that's already out there, and which I understand. But they could have easily, like, one of the hidden bosses is a derivative of, it's like its own thing, and they did have a story to it, but it was like nothing. It was like, oh, we're from a different timeline, and we're just here to find the strongest warrior. No, you did it, good job. But you could have done something. You could have done something to be like, hey, while you're playing this story that you've probably seen a billion times, because why else would you buy this game or play this game? Here's something different. And that would have been so welcoming, so nice. I mean, even Fighter Z or Fighters, whatever you want to call it, they at least had their own like storyline that did kind of play a different angle and go on its own thing, being like, here's the reason for this universe to exist. Was it great? No. But I mean, they at least did it. Where this one's just like, hey, this is just Dragon Ball Z. Deal with it.
Well, but that's what they were going for, is like they've already made so many of the ones where it's like it's an alternate thing. Like the Budokai ones where they would go through like time jumping and whatnot, and it would change out. What's the fucking what's the other one? You know which one I'm talking about, the one with the Time Force ones and whatnot. Like they've done that. They've done all these new storylines, but they haven't done a full story RPG.
And you're right. You're fair with that. I mean, and the presentation that they gave behind it was fantastic. Whenever you beat a saga, so they had like the Saiyan saga, the Android saga, the Buu saga, all of them. And anytime you beat like the main story arc, it would go into like a whole like previously on Dragon Ball Kakarot, and it would just like show all the shit that you just did and be like, and here's what's coming up next. Join us next time on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And it's just like, all right, you mean right now? She's like, yeah, right now. She's like, all right, cool. And it was interesting. Like I said, the nostalgia factor they nailed. The world was bland, the combat was bland, the voice acting was Dragon Ball, which you love it or you hate it type thing right there. The writing of anything that was like from the fetch quests and stuff like that was bland. Plenty of nudie mag jokes, plenty of panty jokes.
But that's Dragon Ball.
All of it. But that's Dragon Ball. So I mean, it's just like they took that Dragon Ball cookie that you know and love from being a kid and gave it to you, and you're just holding it in your hand, being like, man, I remember this being a lot bigger. And that's the feeling of this video game.
And you get your driver's license with Piccolo.
You do get your driver's license with Piccolo. You do 100%. It's part of the game. I mean, there's even the Saiyaman
yeah, but those are literally part of the manga and whatnot too, which is just like it's the worst parts, which by the way, they've rehashed all that Saiyaman stuff with Super now in the Super manga, because they're they've doubled down on making the Dragon Ball superhero movie like fully canon. It is going into the manga. Like the manga is now getting up to that point in the movie. Good. And I'm just like, oh.
Good. As far as a game, 6 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. It is not, as a game, it is generic of generic. that you can do, all the stuff that you have to do, all the crap you have to find, all the like random collectibles and reasons to upgrade. I mean, by like halfway through the game, the power-up orbs that you have to collect constantly are so worthless. That's just like, why are they even here? Like, it was just like, you get power-up like stuff all the time. There's no need to have them be everywhere and like in your way and just gaudying up the landscape. It's just like, let me see like the stuff instead of just orbs everywhere. It's just, they made so many weird design choices that it's just like, nah, it's not great. That being said, I did platinum it. I did everything I possibly could, and there's got to be a reason for that, and that is because of nostalgia. They nailed that hard. If you just are like, man, I love Dragon Ball, and you haven't played this game yet, there you go. I think you should at least check it out. Play at least through the Cell Saga, because honestly, Cell Saga is the best saga, and Boo Saga is the Boo Saga. If you know, you know. So there you go. It's fun. Just in that. I then moved on to Ghostwire. I'm only a few hours into it, but so far I am loving it. I think it's a great explorational cinematic game. I mean, Bethesda, it gives me so many good Prey like vibes to it and stuff like that, and what they did. And that's just such a great cinematic game. I'm really excited to see what they do with Ghostwire. I was actually like, when I started playing, I was like, why didn't I pick this up earlier? I don't know why. And I'm excited to play it more.
You were playing
it's
something
really pretty.
else in
I was
September.
playing. I'm sure I was, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it was that you were playing.
I don't know, I could probably go back and look, but I'm lazy.
Was it Horizon?
It was probably Horizon.
It might have been Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you played Horizon before you played God of War.
Oh yeah. I played Horizon last year. So.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you played God of War this year. That's right. No, Horizon you were playing through December. So I don't know if you started that in September. I don't know why you didn't play it. I've played a good chunk of it as well. I played a good chunk of it on stream, and it is a great.
Yeah, I saw you playing it.
Yeah,
yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Controls are fun. The cinematography is really well done. The world building that they're doing is fantastic. I'm just like, wow, I'm really invested into like what I'm here for it. Like they're going into details of snacks and going into details of like items that you pick up and stuff like that. And I think that's fun for making something a lot more than just like, hey, you're picking this up because you have to, but you're picking it up because there's like a reason and like lore behind it and story, and it's fun, interesting, different type of game.
Yeah, I
and
really
it's creepy.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, it is creepy, and it's not like super scary, but it's creepy, and that's
got the good creepy jump scares. The good creepy jump scares of stuff burning, people screaming, and stuff getting flipped all around and floating and stuff like that. The good kind of like PG-13 ghost scare that's just like, wow, those are really good horror movie. PG-13, damn, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh man, all right,
anyway.
Chris, what are you playing?
Yeah, so I'm just been playing a little bit of some more Dredge. Obviously, super great game. If you've been over like Twitter or the Dredge Twitter, it's been blown up like VTran, everyone's been playing this, loving this game. I mean, I'm not a huge horror fan, as you guys kind of know. I mean, horror video games I kind of play a little bit, but who doesn't like Eldritch horror?
You just like
and then you mix it with the fishing.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Every horror game that you have played has to do with tentacles.
No. Someday You'll Return.
Okay. Wait, that didn't have tentacles?
We could find them.
I'm sure they're in there. Moons of Madness. Tentacles everywhere.
Tentacle Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, Tentacle Moons of Madness.
But yeah, and then fishing, I kind of enjoy fishing like that. But yeah, just been playing a little bit more of that. And then other than that, I did finally get into my dad's garage and get to play with the router, and we built the little jig to start building my keyboard base out of wood.
Nice.
So that will be coming soon. I think we might do another round of that, of just building another one, of trying to make it the little kind of bowl shape a little bit smaller, so that the walls will be a little bit thicker, but it looks really good.
And this was teak?
No.
No, this is Black Libra. It's cheaper than teak, got a really nice grain to it. It's a African wood. It's from like this tree, and so there's like the white and the black vibra, which is from the same tree. But the black vibra is the lower parts of it that where it gets a lot of kind of sediment in there, so it gets some of the more darker grain in there.
Nice.
So
It's gonna be
Awesome.
sexy.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
gonna be so sexy.
It's gonna be pretty, especially like
Yeah.
you get some good oil into that. Really pop out that grain.
Yeah,
So pretty.
because we were also kind of talking about that too. I'm like, well, we don't really want to do like a stain, but maybe like a more like clear kind of stain, just like an oil, just to kind of accentuate it. Because you don't really need it darken it or stain it or something like that, because it's already so pretty.
Yeah. Like
Just
you
accentuate that
want,
prettiness.
yeah, you want something to like just go in, and then you get a good oil in it.
Yeah,
It
just
protects
kinda-
it.
Get oil, seal it, and you're good.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Sweet.
Can't wait to show that thing off.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for the podcast because we don't have anything else to talk about really, and you guys don't want to hear us just
No.
sit there and blather on about absolutely nothing. You already
Talk
spent
about
30
Pop again.
minutes
No.
listening to that earlier.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot, everybody,
here
for
for you.
joining us. We have been streaming it on Twitch and haven't had a single frame drop, which is amazing. So we were able to stream this entire thing on Twitch. But you can find it streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/ibeatitfirst. You can also go to our website, ibeatitfirst.com and IBIF.co in order to find where the podcast can be found on all major podcasting platforms. And when I say the podcast, I actually mean the podcast network. That's right, 3 total podcasts from the I Beat It First family, which is I Beat It First, which you just listened to, Cutscene, which is our anime watch-along podcast, where we are watching Higurashi When They Cry Go, which is the new version of it, and we also have Patch Notes, which we talk with game devs about game dev. We want to make sure that the game developers are showcased as well as the video games that they're working on, and find out, what makes them tick. Also, what's the best pizza? Things like that. We ask them all these weird ass questions that just kind of like whatever pops into our brains at that particular moment. And we've gotten some good things like talking about like a developer's band. And he's like, well, yeah, it's like I actually play like in a band, and I think we spent like 15 minutes just talking about the music that he was making for the game and like the shows that he's put on in the New York area, which is totally awesome. It was probably some of the better content that we had out of that, which was really, really good because we're getting to hear them talk passionately about something else other than video games. And it's always good to see someone passionate about something else too. Like, that they're getting ready to talk about the video game stuff all the time, and hearing them like go off on a tangent about something else that they really love is just great. But you can also,
it's about them.
Yes, it is all about them, and that's the key thing about it. You can also find us at Facebook, iBeatItFirst.com, Twitter, iBeatItFirst, Instagram, iBeatItFirst, where we literally have almost zero presence anymore, especially with Twitter. Like, are we at a point where I can just get rid of the Twitter account completely? Because I really just kind of want to. But
When's the last time we've done anything with it anyway? I mean, it's just as bad as
Chris
Facebook
does
anymore.
A couple
Chris does
things.
stuff
I do
with
some
it.
stuff.
I just hate
I don't
Twitter
do
in general.
nothing with a Facebook, but
yeah, don't go on Facebook. Don't go on Twitter. Barely go on Instagram. Social media is just kind of like we're old now. Get off my lawn.
Instagram's mostly just for the reels.
It is. Instagram's literally for the reels. It's because I don't want TikTok. That's all that Instagram is good for. You can also go to ibeatitfirst.com/donate in order to find information on our Extra Life team, which is I Beat It First, where last year we raised over $6,000 towards the Children's Miracle Network and different children's hospitals within that area. And we're doing it all again. Our goal now is 6,000. We want to be able to bump that up. So if you've got any discretionary funds at any point throughout the year, you can donate. You don't have to do it all at the end of the year or wait for Extra Life Game Day. You can do that as well. We also have our Charity Throne account, which is 100% charity. It is the only one of its kind right now, where 100% of the items that you purchase go directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital here in Phoenix, Arizona. It doesn't come to us and then get donated off through there. It sends directly to the hospital, which, especially after COVID, has changed a lot of the ways that they're allowed to take in donated products. So they can only get them if they're delivered from somebody like Amazon or something like that. They can't take them as external, just straight up donations. So that helps tremendously with that. The kids get to go in with fake money and buy a toy from the area that's in there, just so that they have something to do while they're in the hospitals. So if you've got the ability to purchase something that's on there, make a kid's day and send that over there. It is worth noting that the money that goes to the children's hospitals goes directly to kids, helping fund equipment, helping fund procedures for families that can't afford them. So all sorts of things within that. All right, that's about it. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us for the podcast. If you are with us on Twitch, please hang out. We will be raiding out, but we can't end any podcast without Chris saying,
Bye-bye. No.
No.
Recording
you
stopped.
need to turn that original sound on.
It was on, and then it came off when I came back in.
Forgot
to turn it back on.
Womp womp.
Way to go.
Womp womp.
Way
to
to go. All right. We are going to raid into, let's see here. Who should we raid into? I think we'll just raid into Space Babe. She is playing Dark and Darker, which we didn't talk about that in the news section.
Being sued.
Yeah. Well, we already talked about them being sued. No, they have a new set like out for it. So like you have to go through this whole thing. It's like the first time that I've ever heard a video game company actually say, "Hey, here's the torrent for our game." Torrent our game so you can do the playtest. But we're going to go ahead and raid into M. But thanks a lot, everybody, and we will see you guys next week for cutscene. Bye-bye.
Bye.